Alright, oil pan is temporarily back on. I have two clips on, that side and that side, just holding it on temporarily. You can see my little weld right there. Right there's the plug, and this is kind of a hard up there. That's the plug it goes into. Trying to get a good angle. That's where it goes into, where the connector needs to be put in. Once that arrives, I might get on the Car Quest right now and see if they have one of those though. Drain plug still needs to be loosened. I'm going to take the pan off again and do that. And finish that up before I permanently put it back on. Yeah, so that's kind of a view of what I'm doing under here. Okay, I managed to get the valve body back in by myself and lined up and everything, which by the way was a pretty impressive feat. I had to, I got it in place and then used my leg to hold it up. My knee actually, while I got the bolts and with both hands tried bolting one on one side and one on the other side in to keep it in place. And it's pretty heavy, it's at least 10 pounds. It's a very awkward angle, as you can see. I don't have very much space to work under here. But I managed to get it in. I got all the bolts in, torqued them up to about 75 foot-pounds, which is approximately what you want to do. Okay, so that broken bolt I showed you before ends up, I was able to back it out. It seems like it's stuck in there. See how it's like, it doesn't really move. I was able to actually unscrew it from this one, the broken one. And I got the old one off the old plug and popped it in this one. So now it works as it should. Also, it's copper in color instead of silver, so who knows, maybe it's stronger. Either way, I'm going to be incredibly careful trying to put it in and hope that nothing goes wrong. I did find the O-ring for the plug. I cleaned the heck out of it, so now it's nice and clean. And it's not screwed up or anything. It was in the driveway. But I'm going to see if I can pop that in now. All I need now is a drain plug for the transmission pan, because I do want to put a functional drain plug in there instead of the rusted old one, so I can take it off if I need to drain it for whatever reason again, once I refill it. Victory is mine! After lots of banging with this massive breaker bar and that extractor, I was finally able to get the drain plug out. Look at that. The extractor was a little bit too large, so I had to drill it down a little bit larger, the drain plug with the drill bit, so I could get the extractor in there. But once I did that, I found a bit that fitted, and I tried using this small ratchet for a while, and ended up having to use this massive breaker bar and a hammer. I smashed the heck out of it. I was about to get the axis settled, not the axis. I was about to get the MAP gas torch out and start heating it, but I didn't want to do that. But I was able to get it free, as you can see, and that's pretty sweet. I'm going to measure the threads on this and go down to the hardware store and see if I can get one today. So here's a view of the valve body yet again. That's the new filter right there. Everything's back in and torqued down. The plug up here is what I was talking about. I've already gotten a pretty good view of this, but like I showed before, I was able to get the bolt into the new plug. I popped the plug in, and I took a little bit of persuasion with a hammer to get it to actually pop in there, but it did. And the bolt wouldn't thread in, and I was wondering why. Then after about 20 minutes, I realized I was using the wrong size bit, the wrong size bit. So I switched over to a 7mm from an 8mm, popped it back in, and tightened it down very carefully. I kept on thinking that it wasn't tight enough, so I was tempted to tighten it down more, but I didn't. Just enough so that it was snug. And I popped the connector in there and tightened it down, and it's now locked in place. And I wiped down the male side of the connector because there was some transmission fluid. I wiped that down, popped it in there, and locked it in place, and that's all set. That is good. I'm happy with that. Now, this thing kind of moves a little bit, and I don't like that. I'm going to pop in the old filter, see if that moves as well, and if it does, then I'll use this one. If it doesn't, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Get a new filter, I guess. But for now, that's really all there is left to do, other than get a new drain plug, find a bolt that fits it, and also get a couple bolts that go on here, since I am missing 2 of them because they broke coming off. But we're almost done. I'm almost done, and I am excited yet also nervous to see what happens when I try starting it with all the fluid in it and whatnot. But anywho, almost done here.